If you feel stuck and feel like you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you can't escape, this is for you. I'm Dom Jackson, David A. Media, and this is the 7-Day Scoop Show, a weekly show where I document my career decisions that I'm making. You're a venturer trying to pursue. I use my venture and my stories to help motivate and teach you. Bada boom, bada bing. So, in the process of getting my van with car keys, over a year spending trying to get it. And, this week was one of those weeks. Our team did really good this week. We were in New Orleans, taking care of some stuff out there. So it was a great week for the team. And the reason why I wanted to make this video about how you feel stuck, there is a big limiting belief I was holding on to for a long time, and that was you can't do the servicing and sell at the high level at the same time. And that brought me down to a deeper topic. So in the process of getting my van, sometimes I'm doing more selling, sometimes I'm doing more servicing of the keys that we're programming, and sometimes I'm doing both. And one of the biggest metrics of getting success, getting to the next step of getting to my van, is going to be high sales while servicing. And that gap separates people who get a van and people who don't get a van. And hard problems are the problems you gotta be able to solve to be worth something on that next side. So, for a while I was trying to figure out you can't hit over a certain amount of money sales while you're servicing. But I've seen other people do it. I've seen people that have trained me do it. I just didn't think it was possible. It was harder than the level that I could comprehend to actually figure out how to get done. This week did over 600 points while servicing, when normally when I'm doing half and half, it's like 400, sometimes 300. And I don't think I ever hit 5. But this week I did 6. So the reason I'm saying it like this is because the reason you feel stuck is because you're holding on to an idea or a habit or identity that you think is true because it fits the story that you want to tell yourself. Then all your habits align with that. So to give you a popular example, there's a whole story of the whole 4-minute mile. Tons of athletes, Olympic level athletes, couldn't get past that point in the mile. And then one person finally broke it. I don't know if the guy who broke it was, but after that, people started breaking that over and over again. So the concept of something even getting done past that point, you have me holding on to an idea, a belief that you really think is true. You can't even change your habits to make that belief not be true. Another prime example of this was, I remember when I was in California, I was going to work at this other sales company, and I liked being late for some reason. Being late was my little fuck you to the man. At a certain point I was like, being late's not helping me and it's not serving me, so let me not be late. So I made that shift mentally. So I was like, all right, cool, I'm not gonna do this anymore. But then, this is an interesting moment. One of the days I realized while I was inside my kitchen, the place was only about a 7-minute drive, but I was doing random things so that I could be late. I was putting away dishes or sweeping. These are things I wouldn't normally do at this time frame, because I would just get up later so that I could be late. But this time I woke up earlier and I started doing random things so that I could be late, so I could hold on to that habit. And that's what I learned, truly learned on a level that I didn't know was possible. Or I didn't know it's possible that you, whatever your unconscious, whatever, there's you up top who you think you are, and then there's you who you actually are, operating as, how you move as. And sometimes there's a disconnect, and it takes a little bit to get them to connect to be the same you. And it takes time to train your habits. You have to change your mental state, then change your habits. I don't have the exact words for it currently, but moral of the story was that I realized, even though I mentally made the shift, my habits were still do things to allot this much time so I can be late, to get that feeling of being late. And you're stuck because you're doing the same thing for yourself. Now, it may not be late, it may not be, I'm not going to push as hard in sales, but the same thing is that there's things that you hold on to, you're holding on to the identity holding on to that idea, so that you can just align your habits to fit the story that's going on in your exact head. And that's what it really is. So one of the biggest things in the field that kind of kept me going was that, I need to hit, my goal was to get 800 points for the week. I didn't get that, but I needed to hit, 170 something points a day to get to that 800 points in the week. And I kept telling myself that number. I did hit it one of the days. I didn't hit the other days, obviously. But here's the thing. I was around and I was intentional for so much longer. So, let's say throughout the whole workday, and throughout the whole workday, it's let's say this 8 hours were there. Between hours 1 through 5, I'm locked in. So like I'm servicing, then I'm gonna go sell. I'm servicing, then I'm gonna go sell. I'm servicing, then I'm gonna go sell. So I'm still keeping the same intensity. But after hour 5, the last 3 hours, it's kind of like I'm servicing and then I'm just there. I would still do the actions of trying to get the sale, but my heart wasn't in it. It was just like, whatever. Like I'm doing it. And this is the same thing I've been trying to. This is the same concept I've been battling throughout the entire time. I'm figuring out ways to keep myself locked in the entire time so I keep the intensity. Because the day I hit the points, I was like, oh, what did I do differently today? Oh, I was just present for the rest of the day. I can do this. I can hit these numbers. It just depends on what energy level I have of actually like capacity I have currently and what intention and intensity I have as far as how I am in the actual field. So, just to use this story and everything else I've learned for yourself, what are you holding on to, and who are you holding on to that's not helping you get to the next stage? As always, take it one step at a time. You'll get there day by day.